Yeah, just went home, Mick here, just at the top of the Belthorpe range. It's a nice little bit of bitumen. I'm just going to film it on the way down. Quickly overnight, learned one of my schoolmates, Jane Denver, had passed away yesterday. She's going to be sorely missed from me, that's for sure. I'd always run into Jane and we'd have a good old chat. And more so when I was working in the council, I'd run into her and we'd start talking about the good old days at school. Here comes a bike. I can hear coming up the hill. Little bloodwood there, little stick of timber coming along. But no, poor Jane, one of them larger than life people. I always enjoyed, where are we? I always enjoyed having a lot of fun with Jane at school. She was one of those girls that was real popular and you know, just fun to be around. And to me, Jane was always, she always never like we ever left school. When I'd run into her, when I was working on the council, I'd be in Parks and Gardens and she'd be having a cup of coffee early in the morning and in town and with the kids and two daughter and a son. I think the son was the oldest, and it's Brody, and I'm not sure of the son's name. Here comes the bike, but this is a nice run down. But anyhow, poor Jane, one of them larger than life girls that always looked fondly upon at school. We had a great time and at school, and we always used to reminisce about the old times at school. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set this up quickly. Yeah, this is steep coming down here. Probably hear this bike coming up the hill. And that truck before sounded like a, definitely sounded like a motorcycle, but it was a bloody truck. But what do we got here? We got looks like a Buell. A Buell and a Ducati. So if you're looking at, this is a very windy road down here. I done a story a fair few years ago in the Belthorpe bush crash down here with school kids. 2 school kids were killed out of the same family. Extremely sad, in 1971 I think. So when GDHO Phase 3 Falcons were brand new, there was the tragic bus accident just at the top here. Used to be a dirt road obviously, and the bus pulled up to let a vehicle go past. It was coming up I think in the afternoon, and we drive off opposite to in America, and they were coming up on the side that drops off to the over the cliff here, cliffs. It's very steep, and the road gave away and the bus ploughed down the hill, rolled down the hill, I was looking at because there was a sign to commemorate the 40th anniversary 10 years ago in 1971, and it actually had the spot where the bus went over the side, and extremely steep. I'll probably try and just pull up. I'm just going to slip my iPad down the front of my shirt here in this belt here and hopefully hold it, and I'll pull up and just video roughly over the side where it is, and you'll see it's steep. But I'm just going to quickly head on down. But rest in peace, Jane Denver, a great schoolmate, and Jane was always Jane. No airs or graces about Jane. She liked having a beer, and look, I was taken back last night when yesterday after when I heard the news on schoolmates. Alison Edwards, which was Alison Cox, had posted that it looked like she'd passed away, and I verified it with her sister Gail last night. I got up this morning, I went to bed thinking about Jane and woke up about 2 o'clock, and then I had a look on my phone and Gail had verified it, and I was talking to a schoolmate, and it looks like she'd gone from liver cancer, very quick diagnosis, and didn't last long. Like I say, I hadn't been talking to her, probably I talked to her on Facebook, but I hadn't seen her face to face. We'd always have a big hug and a laugh and a giggle. But I'm going to head down the range here now So this shirt you can see here too. This is a trademark shirt. This is for men's mental health, which in my opinion, I've suffered mental health and with anxiety, shock and anxiety at times. I've taken out the stresses of the anxiety, taken out the stresses in my life, and the anxiety has dropped right off. Still take medication for it, and I forgot my tablet last night, and when I woke up this morning I was definitely not right, and so that medication definitely works. But I'm going to head on down. Here comes a car, so just bear with me and off we'll go down the hill. Sveno, Mick out.